I wasn't even gonna touch this one. This TYT fallout mess. Yeah, I ran a poll on my community tab on YouTube, and over 1,000 votes. And almost half of y'all said, yes, Tim, call it out.
Recently, Francesca Fiorentini asked us at TYT to take her podcast, The Beeyotch Room, off the network. And we happily agreed to that. And today, I'm going a little further, and I'm going to take Francesca off the network entirely. So you won't see her on any of the TYT shows going forward. So I want you guys to know why I'm doing that and how this whole situation isn't really about Francesca. It's about TYT, our community, and what we stand for.
See, this is why I got a problem off the break, guys. Listen, this is classic corporate deflection. What do you mean this isn't personal? This isn't about Francesca. You're firing her, right? Damn it, that's personal. She is a person. You didn't fire a group of people. You didn't fire an entity. You fired a person. Francesca Fiorentini, whether you disagree or agree with her, she is a person. So this is not personal. You're firing someone and using community values to make it sound noble. Man, just say you fired her because the vibes were garbage. Yeah, just say you fired her for her big mouth and the vibe wasn't there. Don't drag it out like it's a civil rights speech, but that's what he's gonna do.
And so we're for open minds and open hearts. And so I want all of you to know that, and I want to build a community that believes in that.
He's running for office again? Cenk, are you running for office again and didn't tell nobody? Because that's what this feels like. Spoiler alert, you lose.
And invites people in that believe in the same things. And by the way, if you don't believe in the same things and you say, no, I have a strict ideology and I have no open mind about that, no problem. There are tons of shows out there for you guys.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Because I'm gonna do it for you.
See, I tried to label these so that I would stay on point because I don't want to take too much time. So this segment is called "She Called Me a Beeyotch." Okay.
Or you don't have to come to me.
Down. Again, you're misstating it. I'm doing the exact opposite. You're cracking down by saying, Cenk, you're out of bounds. So you should stop your stupid opinion.
So
and because you're implicating me.
I can't believe that a guy who I used to admire and who I thought had a lot of fight is trying to scratch the back of people who absolutely would never do the same for them.
So we just spent an hour and a half me explaining how I'm not scratching their back. I'm trying to get
but I can show you
with us on things we believe in and we've always believed in. And you go back to scratching their back.
At least the trains will run on time.
Yeah, scratching the back and not scratching the back. You know, scratching the back is a relative term. Yeah, that's if he says he's not, you say he is. Well, he wins because he gets to say what he's doing. You don't get to say what he's doing, but okay, keep going.
The train's running on time, presumably a reference to Germany. I'm the collaborator, and I'm scratching the right wing's back by having my opinion. The opinion I've always had, an opinion I've had for years, and you guys have seen for years on the show. But if you don't agree with Francesca in that particular case, and some other folks in the extreme left, well, you're not allowed to have that opinion. That is immoral by definition. And how dare you disagree with them? That makes you a right winger, a collaborator, et cetera. But if you say, hey, Cenk, look, I know that she's quoting someone, collaborating with an authoritarian government and saying that that's what you're doing and you're helping the right wing. And that she's not open to the idea of, hey, maybe there's a different strategy and a different opinion on this that gets us the same result protecting trans folks or whichever topic we're talking about. Okay, if you're not, and at that point, I certainly hadn't done anything. I think that was, I didn't appreciate that, but that's okay. We kept going, and she's been on the network since. Then she started to do more and more and more, and it got more and more personal. So after that discussion, this happened.
I like that we can both be very Mediterranean about it and get super mad, but then rein it in and be cool and then be we're we're just gonna yell and then we're gonna be fine and then we're gonna get over it. So that's the kind of beer I like to have.
Yes, thank you.
Next on deck.
Yeah, folks, look, I'm a business owner. And if someone goes off on me like that, calls me a dumbass and a B on my own platform, yeah, I think I'd fire their ass too. I fired them like a 357. I fired them like a 9mm. I would fire them immediately. No safety. That's what I would do. That's a wrap. But you know what? My only thing is, let's not act like Cenk Uygur doesn't breed chaos. He does. He built his brand on confrontation. Now he's shocked when it turns inward on him. Nah, man, you and Anna both like confronting people. You do it all the time. Usually the people that you're confronting are not there to defend themselves. In your case, you were there to defend yourself. And she still took you to the woodshed and you allowed her to do it. Letting her do it and then deciding to stop, you might as well have stopped when she first started crossing the line. Let's keep going.
With Tim Black.
2 days later.
I mean, I have my own thoughts on like why he's doing it. I think, you know, if you think your brain was broken by the 2024 election, I think we're looking at a case where someone's brain was broken even harder.
Okay, so, but look, guys, if she had said that about another host, I probably would have drawn the line there. But it's about me, so I wanted to give more leeway. My brain is broken. And by the way, that's still, okay, the first time she's getting super personal. Collaborator, maybe that's a political opinion. Now we're a broken brain, even though we were supposed to have a beer and we were supposed to hash it out and be okay afterwards, but apparently not okay afterwards. But then that was the tip of the iceberg. She continued again and again. Here's the next one.
I do think it's sad that even though they allow people like us into the fold and the fray, they refuse to learn from us or listen to us. And I think that when you have been doing this work for so long, and you still cannot grasp the idea of intersectionality, how race and gender and class all intertwine with one another, and how the fascist goal is to divide us based on these lines. Like, I don't know like who you are. Like, I don't even know if you're smart. You know what I mean? I don't even know. First of all, I don't know who your political mentors are. I don't know who you look up to. I don't know what your touchstones are. I don't know if you know your history in terms of like civil rights, women's rights, gay rights struggle in this country. I don't know anything.
Next on deck.
Yeah, man, this whole thing is just, when I listen to her talk like that, all I could think was, man, Jesus Christ, get rid of her immediately. Like, have your own platform. Work for yourself. Do your own thing. You know, I'm looking at both of them. So both of them sitting here. You got a former guy who was grieving, pissed off, a former employee, other guy, mayor, and now her. You know, both of them doing the same thing. But I don't feel bad for Cenk in this case because he takes hits at people all the time. It's just whack that she was doing that. Was that on TYT's network that she was doing that? I couldn't tell if that was her habituation room or if that was TYT. I think it was her. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know, because this is a rebroadcast that Cenk did, including this. So I don't know. If she did this on her own platform, so what? You know, that's what they do. That's what people do. You know, whenever you work with somebody in this game, then they go make a bunch of videos. There's nothing you can do about that. And that ain't even worth you doing all this showcasing, Cenk, because you do the same thing. Look, if you make videos about people, we all make videos about people. Those people are people. When you make videos about people, people can make videos about you, right? So if she's making a video about you, eat it or ignore it. Those are your options. Mondale, same thing. If he makes videos about you, you gotta let it, you know, what can you do? You know, TYT goes hard in the paint on people all the time, calling them all types of names, as if those people do not have feelings, as if those people do not get upset. They do. Cenk does not get now to cry foul because it's being done to him. It's just roosters coming home to roost. Do I think it's whack? Yeah, because she was still an employee. Yeah, that's my biggest. Let me say that very plainly. My biggest beef with Francesca is that she was doing all of this while still getting paid by this man and by this corporation. That's low down dirty. What is it? You wanted to get the unemployment check? Really? Yeah, like what are you waiting for? Real talk. What are you waiting for that you could diss him to that extent and still pick up money? Well, to me, that's scumbag. These are the type of things you fear. It's sort of like if you ever wanted to own property, people tell you owning property is one way to make a lot of money. Own property, become a landlord. They leave out squatters. Francesca was a squatter. Yeah, somebody who won't leave of their own volition, you know? And I equate her taking a dump on the owner of the business that's paying her as someone who won't leave your property, who's, meanwhile, they're putting stuff on the walls and putting holes and stuff and letting their dog take a crap all over their place. Yeah. Francesca was a squatter. You got to go out and get an injunction to get her removed off the premises. And if you don't think that's lame, Francesca, and other person, Mayor Robinson, I don't know. You ain't paying attention.
I don't even know if you're smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, telling your boss, I don't even know if your boss is smart. Yeah, why work for him? Leave. I had the same opinion when other people had problems with Cenk. Why do you work there? Why did he have to fire you? Why didn't you quit? Because you're playing a game. Because this is all about publicity. You know now that a lot less people will listen to you now that you don't work there. How much longer can you ride this? As long as I want. I may be claiming I'm people of color, but for most people, you're white girl. People love white girl tears. And that's what you're going to do. And Cenk's doing white guy tears, and you're doing white girl tears. And we'll see how that works out. I bet you she gets a lot further on this than Mondale did. What's that other black guy who got canned a while back? I forget his name, but he got some great content out there. Point is, watch her numbers and what happens with her grievance. Let's see how the public reacts to it, the progressive public. Look how they reacted to Mondale. Remember that other brother? I don't remember his name at this point. And watch how they treat Francesca. Case closed, face closed. Let's keep going.
I don't even know. First of all, I don't know who your political mentors are.
With Tim Black.
Of course not.
And yes, as I told Cenk, I do feel very implicated. I have felt implicated by their takes, specifically around crime and policing.
I thought that was crazy. I feel implicated. Quit! If you feel implicated, if you feel like I can't be associated, I can't be known to work for this place, leave. Are you a visa? Do you have a visa card or one of those B1 visas where you only get to stay in the country if Cenk employs you? I don't know what nationality she is. I thought she was a U.S. citizen. What's going on here? Some type of servitude, indentured servitude happening here? She Irish? What's happening here, man? Somebody tell me what's going on. Like, how is this a complaint? I feel tarnished. See, this, folks, is exactly why I stopped rocking with these people. Do you hear what I'm saying? Black people, do you feel implicated with the job you had to pay your bills to take care of your family? You feel implicated? Really? You feel like it's lowering you as a human being to have to work there? You know, sitting on your ass and talking for a living? Oh, okay. You know, black people, this is a slap in the face. And this is why people say, oh, intersectionality and this and that. Nah, man, stop comparing everything to everything else. This is what I'm talking about. She will compare this to black struggle. Well, I worked for TYT and I didn't like what they were. No, did they pay you? Yeah. Was there a problem with your paycheck? No problems with my paycheck, but they chose to have certain stances that I disagree with. Did they make you have those stances? Or they were going to beat you up after work? No, of course not. Okay, well, they deducted payout your paycheck if you didn't have the identical stances. No, not at all. I'm sorry, man. What's the problem? Because the way I feel inside, it feels like I'm being ridiculed and being punished, and I can't keep my head up. I walk past people, I literally have to look at the ground now because I work at TYT. Why would anybody know that? You weren't even a major person on the network. I mean, come on, if you were Anna, maybe it'd be different. Maybe if you were John Iadarola, maybe a little different. Less so, but a little bit different. But even the black guy, the cool black guy that sits in the back, whose name I forget, no disrespect to you, but you've been with the brand for 15 years, man. You would even have more basis to make this claim than her. Some people in my survey was like, come on, Tim, she's a bit player. No one cares if she left. Get off her, Tim, don't cover it. But since that was only 30%, I decided to cover it anyway. Plus, I'm having fun. And shouldn't we all enjoy our jobs? Right, Francesca? Let's keep going. Now we're on trans athletes, and this is going to get fun.
In years past, definitely by this new heel turn since Trump's reelection, and absolutely by the misrepresentation of the Los Angeles fires and who the responsibility lies on. It is enraging, to say the least.
The Los Angeles fires are not the responsibility of the mayor. They're apparently the responsibility of Republicans. Or I don't know. I don't know what her thought on that is, and I don't know why she's enraged by that, but that's okay. Apparently I've taken a heel turn. By the way, all those folks, not just Francesca, but others that told you we're right wing, you watch the show every single day, you see us criticizing Trump and Elon Musk over and over and over and over again, telling you how they're gonna do a $4.5 trillion robbery in those tax cuts. Yesterday we talked about how they're already, hammering Social Security and costing good Americans, what they need from Social Security, how they're gonna cut $800 billion from Medicaid, how there's a series of robberies on the way, et cetera. But it's okay, let's just simplify things and say anyone who disagrees with us a little bit is a right winger. But the good news is, at least Francesca will not be implicated anymore. And I never understood that because she's been saying this for a long time now, that she was implicated by us. Then why keep taking the check? And it's not a big check, and Francesca has had, a career before us. She talks about that. Of course she did. And she'll have a career after us. There's no problem with that. So why, if you think we're collaborators and we've taken a heel turn and we're working with fascists, why did you choose to get implicated with us all these days? But good news, no longer implicated. Believe it or not, she did not stop there. This is now another show. Watch.
So Cenk's line up until this point has been, no, it's at the collegiate level and above. I think once you get to the college level and above, that's when it's bad. So he would be on board with what the ends.
Next on deck.
Anybody out there actually believes she didn't want to get fired? This is a person begging to get fired here. This is somebody want to pick up an unemployment check, right? Or have a grievance or something. Like, this gotta be it. She's probably gonna sue you, Cenk. That's probably, what else? Why would she not leave? This is the worst, man. This is why you gotta be careful, man. You really do.
With Tim Black.
I said recently, but you're so dumb. You're so dumb. I don't even know how to explain it to you anymore. Unless, this is the other option, unless you also are a transphobe. You know what I'm saying? Unless you also are kind of a misogynist.
Because if you disagree with Francesca or anyone on that part of the spectrum, well, you must be a misogynist. You must be collaborating with the fascists. And obviously you must be unintelligent. Now, if I had called her dumb, I wonder what her reaction would have been. My guess is nuclear. But I didn't call her that because we have a disagreement. We have a political disagreement. You don't need to make it personal. Not done yet, one last one.
What has it got you? What did it get you? When you go and share a stage with Dr. Phil, what did it get you? Nothing. You know why? Because you look like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You look like a bitch. That's what it is. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
Why is it that she gets to use that type of language about him, but if you did it about her, yeah, I agree with Cenk on that. And I've had content where I had to criticize Cenk, but that's low. And the fact that this is what the left is, man. This is it. That's it. No clean breaks. Now, in the corporate media world, you don't think that Joy Reid has some worse for CNN? And CNN's got a lot of lawyers, and it would destroy her career. She wouldn't be able to go get work anywhere else. But in independent media, you could trash your boss, work with him for 5 years or however long it was, trash the hell out of him, stab him in the back several times, make content after content after content after content, shitting on the guy who signs your check, and then people still think you're a good person and think you're somebody they want to do business with. And for the record, calling somebody a trans athlete, though trans girls he feels that trans girls should be able to compete in high school, not college or pros, and you still call him a transphobe? Look, as a father of 3 girls, I believe I get his point. Let's ask a question. Let's put it this way. Let's ask female athletes. It's not about transphobic to want fairness in competition. It's about what would be fair for the women that are playing, not just for the one individual who used to be a man, who used to, identify as a man who's not identifying as a man, but to the rest of the world, it's still a man. It still has certain advantages biologically. But yeah. But once again, Cenk makes this about him, not about the issue. He makes it about this woman attacking him to make it about the issue. Or just give whatever. Take the hit. You got insurance. Take the hit. take the hit, offer money, get rid of her. And maybe that's what she wants, to start her own network. I'm telling you, there's ulterior motives. And when those motives come to light, let's see if the Democrats or the liberals or the progressives or whatever they call themselves, let's see if any of them will keep it honest. I've seen the vulture channels already bringing her on to run Cenk in the ground over this. Because their come up is to do anti-content. And that's all it is. Let's keep going, fam. We're almost done. Not much longer.
You don't look like a fighter. You don't look smart. You look like a bitch.
Why does she get to do that? Why is that okay? See what I'm saying? That's why I do not take these people seriously at all. At all. This is what your heroes look like. Talk about self-serving. Talk about hypocritical. Are we almost done yet? Damn, let me get through this.
That's just the reality. I've tried to tell it to you nicely. I've tried to tell it to you cordially. I've tried to tell it to you on your show, on my show, on every show. And so either you A, are a bitch, or B, you actually agree with the right. And I'm starting to think, in fact, I do think it's the latter.
Okay. So again, if I had called her that would have been a different situation, right? But look, guys, also on the policy or the strategy, when you go talk to the right wingers, first we did that, and I mainly did that, and there was a lot of blowback saying don't ever talk to the right wing. But they won the popular vote. How are we going to win back the voters if we never talk to them? If we don't win them back, we can't ever win an election.
Next on deck.
You know what? I think this is all bogus. A lot of this is bogus because Cenk is just doing what most news agencies does, which is follow the wind, follow the way the wind is blowing to stay in business for the most part. That's what Cenk is doing. And Cenk can't be honest and say, hey, yeah, we are somewhat modifying our approach in order to stay viable in the system. Because unfortunately, folks, there are a lot of Americans who don't watch the issues that closely like you think they do. And in order to stay viable, you have to change with the times. You have to modify your approach. Once upon a time, it was bell bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Once upon a time, it was action slacks. Once upon a time, it was baggy jeans. Once upon a time, it was skinny jeans. Like, you got to keep moving. Now it's straight leg or whatever. Like, you got to keep moving with the times. But all along, you've been selling jeans. Now, at some point, you don't want to go totally counter to your beliefs. I will always hold there are policies that I believe that need to happen. But there are other policies that I never really agreed with the Democrats or with the progressives. I've always supported gun ownership because I know too many people that needed guns who live places that you need guns, frankly, for your personal safety, not to hunt food, to hunt people that might come through your door and people trying to get you at night when you kind of come into your door that they don't have to deal with. So they get to be on their high horse and tell other people how to live their lives. So I never agree with that. Okay, but to pretend that a corporation ain't gonna be a corporation when it's a corporation is crazy. And the same token goes for Francesca, to pretend she ain't trying to do this with an agenda, that she don't have her own motivations, that she's some philanthropist. Well, why didn't she work for free then? Why is she working for free? Why wasn't she donating her time to TYT? Since this is all philanthropy, I had some really great people to help me with editing, and they wanted to get paid too. As much as they loved the Tim Black Show, as much as they knew I was barely keeping my lights on, they all wanted their money, right? Right. So I couldn't afford to employ him anymore because I couldn't afford to pay him. Then all that, I'm a this and I'm a that and all these other things. Yeah, and they want their money on time too. Word. So yeah, I think we're almost done now. Almost, Tim. Keep going.
With Tim Black.
You've heard me say that year after year after year. What's the prize? The prize, by the way, note to other online hosts, is not more subscribers. The prize is passing bills, because those are the only things that affect our voters, our audiences, their actual lives. Let's pass paid family leave. Let's pass Medicare for all, higher wages, etc. And I hope wherever you are on the left-wing spectrum or the middle or wherever you are, I hope that you agree. And I hope that we all work together in trying to pass those bills. So please, eyes on the prize. And so look, I'm gonna show you two charts here for a reason. Some Media Matters did this chart recently. You guys, some of you might have seen it on air. And it has the right-wing shows online in red, and it has the left-wing shows online in blue, okay? What we did there, and I hope you can see it, is we put a little bit of a green circle around the TYT show. So the Young Turks is right next to Rogan. We got 12 million subscribers, one of the largest ones in the whole chart. But Rebel Headquarters is also on there. Damage Report is on there. Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie's on there. And when you put them together, that's 18.8 million. And it is one of the largest presence in online media, period. If you include our alumni, people that have been in part of the TYT network in one way or another throughout the years, then we're at 30.1 million subscribers. But with the way that Media Matters builds something. Fox News has dominated discourse in this country for at least 20 years, almost 30 now. And they've made an enormous.
Cenk's got a lot of talking to do, but at the end of the day, you are complicit, brother. Cenk is complicit just like Francesca's complicit. They're both complicit in doing what's best serving them, and he's moving with the way the wind is blowing to a certain degree in order to stay viable in the market because you want access. And TYT's they've been walking the line of the centrist for years now. This is not new. And for Francesca to wake up one day and realize it now is cap. Because I saw it years ago. We've been talking about this, about TYT, since 2016. Come on. We over this joint. We're saying the Jetsons out here. And now here you come. And she got a check and she was silent until it became a popular time for her to rebel. And now's the time for her to rebel. Cut the crap. That's right. It's a good time to rebel from HQ Rebel, from TYT's Rebel channel. Kick them while they down. And maybe you can join Mondale and that other brother who left, and y'all could form Votron and create a entity that can rival TYT. And maybe Dr. Rashad will join you.
Difference, and I think for the worse, for the much, much worse, we're trying to build a network that makes a difference for the better. But by the way, you don't have to agree with us, and you don't have to say, oh, well, okay, then great, and we should help you and support you. No, you don't have to do that. Build something of your own. Instead of being destructive over and over and over again, how about you be constructive?
I agree with that. Be constructive. Go build your own thing. Why you got to destroy TYT? Yeah, I know, because they big. It's the business. And when I was taking shots at TYT, I thought they were big and interested and a sellout and all this other stuff. Yeah, I did feel that way. I haven't changed my opinion overall, but now I understand the business more, and I understand. They were doing what they need to keep their lights on. They are not an activist organization. They are a corporation. Big difference. And that's part of what's wrong with this. That's partly what's wrong here. Cenk, nothing you're doing is wrong, but you keep holding yourself out like you're an activist when you're not. And I don't care how many activist type things you've done. You're still a corporation for hire and for profit, and it is showing. Your slip is showing as far as that. And that's just what it is. Of course, I'm right. Now, for Francesca, it's obvious that you're somebody trying to come up. That's all this is. Anybody can't see that, need to have their head examined, get that vision checked. They should not operate motor vehicles, period. All right, because ain't nobody putting up with all this ridicule and emotional distress without looking out for a payday or some type. Cenk, you could be glad you dodged the bullet. I hope she was never in the actual office with you guys. Hope her work was done remotely, because I can see a lawsuit coming your way. Has she been on Jordan Sheridan's show yet? What about Jimmy Dore's show? It is what it is, guys. It's time to wrap it up.
And you say, hey, Cenk, I don't like the way you guys are doing the TYT network. And I see that you've had this huge success and you've given rise to other progressives that are now having success. And it seems like you helped to build something for our side. Well, you know what, though? These days, I don't agree with you. So I'm going to build something larger. Guess what? I would love that. And whether you build something larger or not, let's say you, instead of building a media company or a media show, you built a platform that actually got Democrats elected, but progressive populist Democrats like Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna, etc. And then they got those bills passed. Oh my God, I would love you for it. Please do that. Build something positive. And that's what we're trying to do here, okay? So, and I don't say this just for Francesca, and the reason I'm doing this segment isn't just for her or to explain what's going on, but I do want to be clear with you. It's mainly to tell you what we stand for. Not just the media end of it, not just the host, but as a community, we all have to be open-minded and open-hearted enough to get these things done and push forward. So,
next on deck with Tim Black.
Look, last thing is, I I wish Francesca well. I mean, she said those things, and I get it. We've got bad feelings these days, but all the power to her, okay? If she can convince the country to be on her side on all these issues, even the ones we disagree on, terrific. Go try that.
That's goofy in itself, Cenk Uygur. Let's cut the crap, man. You know, if you believe in something, you should fight for it. It doesn't matter how much of the country agrees with it. You gave something earlier about the percentage of people that agree with her was something. I forget what it was. Yeah, 67% of Americans agree with XYZ. What was it? It's something to do with the women or something. I don't know. Look, guys, it's not about percentages and who agrees more with something. It's about you sticking with your guns, whatever it is. Okay? But Francesca is not a supporter of the show just giving her money. She's a worker here. So you can't complain about the business when you're getting paid to be there. You're being paid to be complicit or to be implicit or whatever the hell. That's what the money's for. It wasn't a volunteer slot. You weren't an indentured servant. So this is all cap and fake and just goofy fake outrage that nobody has time for. I'm too black for this nonsense, okay? We got too many real things going on for this. Cenk, look, stop. This ain't LinkedIn. You fired her. It's over, okay? You just spent 25 minutes calling her toxic, petty, and dishonest. And now you're gonna wish her well? And let's be honest and tell her to go crash and burn. And let's be honest and say, I hope that you fail, because that's really what you want. Francesca, won't you be honest and say, thanks for the boost. Thanks for the paycheck and helping set me up. And I don't want to hear this, I was working somewhere else before I got here. Yeah, we all were. But you ain't no more, are you? Okay? So, yeah, and obviously you did not sign a non-disclosure agreement. That's why you've been, saying all the things you've been saying. This whole thing is a performance, and it's not even artful. It's a performance art, but it ain't artful. You get what I'm saying? It's crap. I've seen it before. It's trite. It's played. It's lame. They all do this. It's nothing new to this. They all do this, Brutus. They're both working at angles, and both their angles suck. Okay? So yeah, let me rank it up. Final summary for this, and let me do this. Cenk, you are not a victim. Francesca, she ain't a hero. This is two performers who used each other for years, now casting in on the fallout. Somewhere along the line, Cenk, you had to realize that Francesca was not the model employee. You should have canned it in. Then you'd be past this part. You thought she would be less of a jackass? You thought she'd do less of this? No, she did more, because you didn't get rid of her when you knew it. Fire quicker. It's corporate content and radical drag. This is TYT, it's corporate news in independent drag. Yeah, let's say this. You are trans dependent. You're trans progressive, okay? Meaning, you're trying to, I don't know, you're in in-between stages. You're corporate media that identifies as progressive, which is still corporate media. And as for true independent media, like the Tim Black Show, you can't play in our league. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay over there. And we don't want you either, Francesca. You're a problem. Because you could have did that to me. You could have been really wholesome and a nice person and all this stuff and then set me up and did the same garbage. And folks, this is why people work alone. Right here is a prime example. She couldn't go. She's got all that lightness. She's got all that whiteness working for her. And what does she do? She won't leave and do her own thing. She's got to try to destroy him and bring him down. She could have just went on, a waste of skin, or a waste of whiteness, as Paul Mooney would say. What else? I lost my portrait. And if you're still falling for this, maybe it's time to unsubscribe from the show and the show business. And that goes for both of them. Okay, guys, that's all I got. Now, look, you ain't got to pick a hero here. That's unnecessary. Sometimes the whole cast is bogus. In this particular instance, Francesca's bogus, Cenk is bogus. There are two bogus actors here. If you've been watching the Tim Black Show long enough, you know we don't worship personalities. No, we don't. We call out nonsense whoever is performing the nonsense. And in this case, I found both of them. So hit the like button if you're tired of performative politics and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Johnson, is this just a PR for clout, or is this a real reason Is this a lesson, a real lesson, heroes? A real lesson on what hero in independent media is or what that looks like? I don't know. Let you decide. And, as always, I'm Tim Black. We're Wolfpack Strong. We stay here. We keep doing what we're doing. And let's call things as we see them. Let's be honest. And let's not pretend the world is the way we want it to be when it is the way it is. These guys are not heroes. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.